Hello, my friends on the internet. It's your friend Jack here, and today we're talking about the boring stuff. Now, I've talked about this before, but it's important, and even though it may be boring to talk about again, we're going to talk about it because we must. If we want to create cool shit, which is this whole channel's purpose, if we want to follow our curiosity, inevitably, if we want to get anywhere intentional, it's going to have some boring stuff involved. Now, boring stuff could be chopping veggies, it could be making YouTube videos, it could be writing tweets on the internet. It really is up to the person doing the thing if it's boring. Now, why is boring needed? That's what we're going to go over today, and I'm going to give you a story, and it's going to be about a risky story, and me telling you how risks can be boring, but why also, even if something is risky or not risky, you still need to do the boring stuff. So, we're going to take the example of someone who wants to open a business. Jimmy is his name. He wants to open a sub shop. Now, he's sick of the other sub places and he wants something more suited to his appetite. He wants to add the Jimmy secret ingredient to his subs and he wants to make it a hit. That's a risk. But Jimmy also has other aspirations about his work. He doesn't want to work for someone else, even if it means he works way more hours than he would otherwise. He wants to work for himself. So, after years of contemplating, Jimmy decides he's going to open that sub shop. He's worked at this other job for a few years now. He saved up the money. He can do it. Now, this is a story I wrote today, so I'm just going to read off it kind of. But Jimmy's sub shop, it's not right out of the gate a success. It's hard. He has to learn. He has to learn a lot of things. Things about money, things about customer service, things about profit margins, and things about just everyday experiences on how we can be better to sell more subs and make more yummy subs. You know, the normal stuff. Every day is a learning experience, which also means every day is strain. But every day starts to melt together. For Jimmy, it gets kind of boring. He has to chop the veggies, prep the bread, etc., etc. He's learning, he's growing, but it gets boring a lot of the times. He knows what he needs to do to get to his goals. He knows that if he's gonna sell 100 subs in one day, which is one of his big goals, he has to chop a lot of veggies that day. He just has to do the boring veggie chopping. And if he's gonna get there, those veggies better be ready. They better be chopped, and he better have went through the boring, monotonous process of chopping said veggies. And it's boring because you can't fast forward to where you know you're gonna end up anyways. You know where you're going, you know what you have to do, but you just have to do it anyways. You can't just snap your fingers and the veggies are done. Yeah, you could hire someone else and do all these other things, but let's pretend Jimmy's a one-man shop. He has to do these things. And most people are one-man shops when they're exploring their curiosity, when they're trying to create cool things, when they're trying to make a grander vision come to life. They're doing it on their own accord. So they don't have anyone to just snap their fingers at. Now, so Jimmy, let's say he's going to do this, right? He's going to make these 100 sub sales in one day. Well, guess what? He did it. But also, guess what? He had to cut the veggies. There was no boring stuff involved. It doesn't matter how he got there, what he did to get those 100 people in the door ready to eat his subs, how yummy he made them. All of this didn't matter. He still needed to cut the veggies. And in any endeavor, with risks, without risk, with really big rewards, with no rewards, in every single scenario, if you want to reach your goals, there's going to be some boring stuff that you need to do every single day to make forward progress. There just is. There's no skipping it. There are ways of getting better at it, more efficient at cutting veggies or eating your veggies. Maybe that's one of the things you have to do that's boring. You have to keep a healthy mind because you work on the internet. So eating your veggies is boring, but it matters a lot in the long run. Getting enough sleep, it's kind of boring, but it matters a lot. Things like that. And it can be applied very broadly because it does actually matter a lot. Now, that's pretty much it for the video. The only reason you'll be able to celebrate in the future for something you did in the past is if you did the boring stuff. Pretty much. There's always boring stuff involved in every adventure. So did you do it? You did? Then well, the chance of you actually celebrating is much higher. Because if you skip the boring stuff, you skip half the stuff, really. There's a lot of life, a lot of getting to somewhere is kind of boring. Writing a book can be even boring. I wrote my first book this year. A lot of the times, it's boring. You're editing, you need to pay attention. There's even some strain. But overall, it can be boring. It just happens. So every day, you got to sit down and do that thing you need to do, or stand up and run, or eat your veggies. And if you want to get to somewhere specific, there's going to be a lot of boring. That's my Jimmy Sub Shop story for the day. All this is really to stay. If you knew how much the boring stuff mattered, it would probably be a lot less boring. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Go create some cool shit. Check out my book. It's linked down in the description. Um, that's my first book. I'm writing another book too. And also check out my app, which is linked down in the description if you want to stop watching so much YouTube videos or scrolling and start exploring your curiosity and just taking action. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day. Love ya. Peace out.